Everybody there to get to the right outcome, solution-based. We're in day 17 of phase 2.
Following 3 days of meeting last week in Florida between Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner with the Ukrainian delegation led by Rustem Umerov, the White House released a new national security strategy. The 33-page document released by the U.S. administration suggests Europe is facing civilisational erasure and does not cast Russia as a threat to the U.S. The strategy highlights Europe's relation with Russia as deeply attenuated and Europe's regard of Russia as an existential threat. Kremlin has welcomed this strategy but says will monitor how this will be implemented.
Даже признание, что НАТО нужно перестать расширяться, даже об этом речь.
Безусловно, безусловно.
It even includes an acknowledgement that NATO should stop expanding. It is mentioned as well. The plan includes language against confrontation and in favor of dialogue, building good relations, just as President Putin had said. That is encouraging on the one hand, but on the other, we know what happens when everything looks good on paper, yet what they call the deep state acts differently. That can happen. So it is essential to closely monitor how this concept will actually be implemented.
Какую реализацию найдет эта концепция?
As Washington softens its stand by not calling Moscow a threat, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy met UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz in London. The leaders discussed the latest Ukraine-Russia peace plan. Earlier, Zelenskyy called the meeting between the US and Ukrainian delegation constructive.
Yesterday we spoke with Stephen Witkoff and Jared Kushner. I thank them for their readiness to work together 24/7. The American representatives know the basic Ukrainian positions. The conversation was constructive, although not easy.
As Trump attended the annual Kennedy Center's honors on weekend, he expressed disappointment that Zelenskyy had not read the latest proposal, though he said the Ukrainian delegation loved it.
What's your next step in Russia-Ukraine talks after last week's negotiations?
So we've been speaking to President Putin and we've been speaking to Ukrainian leaders, including Zelenskyy, President Zelenskyy. And I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed that President Zelenskyy hasn't yet read the proposal. That was as of a few hours ago. His people love it, but he hasn't. Russia's fine with it.
Earlier at a forum in Doha, U.S. President's son, Donald Trump Jr., while replying to a question, said his father might walk away if the Russia-Ukraine war dragged on.
Is your hunch that President Trump is going to walk away?
I think he may. What's good about my father and what's unique about my father is you don't know what he's going to do. The fact that he's not predictable, he's not following the playbook of every clown who's, again, been a bureaucrat for decades.
The U.S. national security strategy also emphasizes on strengthening economic security and geopolitical ties with India and sees it a critical partner in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. The document stresses on readjustment of the U.S. military presence in the Western Hemisphere to counter migration, drug trafficking, and what it describes as the rise of adversarial powers in the region based on the Monroe Doctrine, first promoted by then U.S. President James Monroe in 1823. Shweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.